back to That Dad Guy. It's October the 4th, 2023, and I'm finally putting out that video about thank you for getting us to 1,000 subscribers giveaway. My own insecurities, I guess, crept in, and I was wondering whether or not I would stay at 1,000 or whether I'd dip back down below. It seems like such a lofty milestone. I've been thinking about it for a while, and 1,000 people is quite a few people. I know I talked to Lewis about it. I said, you know, hard to believe I'm at this milestone. What's the next one? He said 5,000. I can't even fathom 5,000 people tuning in to watch me. So I am just beyond overjoyed that I've gotten to 1,000, and as of today, 1,009. So it's creeping up there a little bit. Now, last week I had gotten a box of stamps from a friend, and I wanted to show you what was in that box, so I'm going to do that in this video today. Well, maybe not show you everything, but because there was quite a lot in it, but I've got some special things that I've picked out that were in the box I'm going to talk about and show you. Also, there is going to be a contest, so you're going to have to watch through to the end. I am going to ask you to tell me that secret word, write it in the comments. And if you do, then next week I will run the generator and pick 3 winners to receive some stamp gifts that I'm getting from Canada Post. Now, earlier in the year, I went to a stamp show here in town. I bought a bunch of souvenir sheets from the Royal Mail that people had there, some different ones, lighthouses, all sorts of different things. And then I thought, well, if I did that in a giveaway, it doesn't make much sense. I'm here in Canada. People probably want something from Canada Post that represents Canada. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down to the post office. I'm going to get a few first day covers, maybe some souvenir sheets of a few different sets of stamps that are out there. And then I'm going to send those off to my 3 winners that I'm going to do to pick to say thank you for helping us get to 1,000 subscribers, and then hopefully get us beyond that, and we can do more giveaways and things too. So if you're not subscribed, you're just tuning in now, make sure you're subscribed, you like, you leave me positive comments, and share with other people. That's how we grow this channel. That's how we do lots of different things. All right, let's get into what was in this box. Now, they were somewhat sorted away. I had envelopes. It says foreign, so these are all different countries that are in there. Most of them are soaked off of pages. Some of them aren't, so they probably still need to be done. Now, I could show you all of those individually, and if you leave me a comment, say, yeah, you want to see what's in that, I can do that. I can do a video about just what was in that foreign bag. There was also a Canadian used. These are mostly on paper. So what I'm going to do with these, a lot of them are stamps that I already have in my collection. So maybe other people are out there that are stamp collectors and are saying, you know, I want to collect Canadian stamps or something. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trade off some of these ones here or send them off to people that say they are stamp collectors and post-crossing. So that's what I'm going to use this envelope of used Canadian stamps for. And then you can soak off the paper rather than me taking the time to soak them all and clean them all up. That way I will send them off to other people. The next thing that there was a pack of US stamps. So I can do a video too on those. Those are mostly off the paper. So yeah, I probably will do just a quick video on showing you what was in those. And then she had one separated into royalty and interest. Now these are mostly stamps that have Queen Elizabeth II on them. There are a few older ones than that. You can see here on pages that need to be soaked off. These are kind of a little bit older ones. Still relatively common stamps. None of these things I would say are worth a lot, but these are all, you know, just images, mostly Canadian images of Queen Elizabeth II's face on stamps. So those 2 are going to be stamps that I can send off to other people as a way of trading. People who are looking for Canadian stamps are going to use that. They can do the work of soaking off the back of the pages if they need to. Then what else they had was she had an envelope full of Canadian new. I'm going to show you that in a minute. I've placed them all out on the table. I'm going to use these Canadian new stamps for my post crossing. For anybody who has really been interested in a variety of stamps, that's what I love to do. Take some older stamps, fill out the card with it, and get to the amount that's needed to send it. So in Canada, it's 92 cents. You can do a variety of combinations in order to get to 92 cents, or you can just send a P stamp, a direct domestic rate off. Same thing with sending to the US. It costs $1.30. No matter how you get there, you can put a stamp that's $1.30 already on it, or you can do a combination of smaller denomination stamps to get you, which is great about having a new collection like this that has a bunch of different ones. It's perfect for stamp collectors. Now, all these stamps too that are mint, they're all stamps my father had in his collection, so there's no point in holding on to them that way. I might as well make use of them and send them back out into the world. The other thing that I did have, now this is a mint sheet, but it has had some damage, how it's been stored, so it's got folded over, so it's not in perfect condition. At least these stamps on this side aren't. These are NHL hockey stars, all-stars. We've got the Guy Lafleur stamp there. I was thinking that had the names of all, yeah, it does have the names of all of them in the front. So the names here, if you didn't know the players going down here, some Toronto Maple Leafs, Boston Bruins, Chicago Blackhawks, Montreal Canadiens. So this nice sheet of NHL All-Stars was part of the collection that was in here too. It's a shame that it got all bent. It would have been a perfect one probably to save in this condition. Now it probably will be used to go on postcards or something or other, because I'm pretty sure that's in my father's collection already. The other thing that was in here was this one here, this nice envelope. It says, Canada, it's you and me, our shrinking world, no man is an island unto himself. The different components within the Canadian mosaic are what we give Canada its strength. These 12 postage stamps acknowledge the rich diversity and reflect the faith in our future. So you open it up, and inside are a block of all the, excuse me, all the Canadian provinces and 2 territories at that point in time. There are 3 now. But this is a mint block of stamps of all the flags of the provincial and territorial flags of Canada. So that was nice to find. Excuse me, I still have that tickling cough from the head cold I had last week. That's about all I've got left of it. So I'd say about 92% maybe back to normal. But the cough does persist a little bit. And because of that, I'm not in visiting my parents because I don't want to transfer it onto them. Now, before I show you the mint stamps that I did get, I do want to show you a few ones I picked out. So this is not a real stamp. Well, it is a real stamp, but not, it's an image of a real stamp. But what was interesting for me about this was the cancellation on it. Hillsborough, New Brunswick, which is close to home here. This is just an image of the stamp on a piece of paper. So I pulled that out, thought that was interesting. Excuse me. The next one, what is a real stamp, but it's in rough condition. So this one came out in 1934. It's about New Brunswick. So that's the province I live in. There, give it to focus properly. But you can see the corner of the stamp has all been torn off. So it really has no value anymore. But I thought it was an interesting stamp, so I thought I would hold that one off. This one I thought was interesting too. This is a World Health stamp that was put out by Canada. You can see that the maple leaf in the middle has been changed to a heart in the Canadian flag. And I don't know if you can read that there for World Health. But it says World Health Day at the bottom, and at the top it says Journée Mondiale de la Santé. So French and English, of course, for Canada. Then I talked about on His Majesty's service stamps. These were government issue stamps that had been printed over with the G in more recent years, up to 1963. But prior to 1948, they actually perforated the stamp. And so one of those perforated stamps was in this collection as well. You can see the holes there and the lettering. I can tilt it just right. So one of those stamps was in this collection too. There, that's probably better. You can see right through there with the light. That made its way into the collection. Now, the last one that really sticks out, I'm going to hold off on. I'm going to show you the mint stamps, and I'm going to come back to this one. Just because it is one of those ones that, one, I didn't know what it was about. I did recognize the symbols on it as to where it came from and what era of time it represented. But I had to look it up. I had to find out what it was about. Before I get to that, though, I'm going to show you the mint stamps that were in this collection. So the postage that is here is all mint. Never been used. Can be used for post-crossing. You can see the small denominations, the largers, the 8s, the 10s. You got series stamps here, the 1, 2, 3, 5, and 10s stamps that are there. We've got some 17-cent stamps, some 12-cent stamps. You can see that some of them are in blocks, some of them are individuals. I haven't actually added up the complete amount of postage that's here that can be used again, but it's a decent amount. I feel like I got my money's worth on it, and the content showing you guys is well worth it too. Some of these stamps you may recognize. I've used some before. I've certainly shown them in my videos through the books that my father has. Some of these stamps you may have even received on your postcards from me because I have used similar ones before. There's a variety of sizes, themes. I feel quite good about getting this many. A $1 stamp. Before postage was that expensive, so that was a little bit older. Now you can see here, I go way back. Those are all the stamps that are mint that I can use again. So with that many mint old Canadian stamps, I'll be able to put a lot of postcards together in the next little while using all those stamps. So it'll be fun to mix and match and do all sorts of different things, and hopefully people on the other end that our stamp collectors will enjoy seeing them. Okay, now the last stamp that I did find is not a stamp that has a value on it. I found it within the international stamps when I was going through it. I hadn't heard of this before, so I had to do some research, but it is this stamp here. I am going to put up a bigger image of it so you can see it, but this is the German field post, Deutsche Field Post. This one comes during the Nazi reign in World War II that these came out. There is actually two stamps here. They are attached to each other but folded over on each other. So I don't know if I can soak them apart and or leave them as is. I'm not sure what I want to do there with that. But these stamps don't have a value on them. It's because they're used for the military. You could send Deutsche Field Posts between different regiments in different German countries. So if it was occupied Poland and they were trying to send a message back to Berlin, they could throw one of these stamps on there and it would go between the post offices. You didn't have to have a German stamp to mail. If you were in any part of an occupied German area and you were within the military mailing to another part of the military, you could use one of these field post stamps, which I didn't know existed. But yeah, so even in countries that were occupied, that had other things, they had volunteers, some recruits that would run a kind of a German post office for them, for the military. So yeah, when I saw that, it was like, okay, I know this is a Nazi stamp, but what was its actual purpose? So that was its purposes, for mailing stamps, or mailing between military regiments, so they didn't have to pay the postage for. They had these special Deutsche Field Post stamps came out, and it had been going for a long time. It wasn't something that the Nazis had come up with. It was something that Germany had been doing for a long time with in their military. It just happens that this particular stamp was issued during the Second World War, and it has its famous insignia on it that lets everyone know that it was from the Third Reich. So that's it. I think that's a pretty good haul for what's in here. If you were paying attention, there was a word that didn't quite fit in this video, and that's the word that I want you to put in the comments if you want to be entered into the contest. So write that word in the contest, and then if you get picked next week, I will do a video running the random generator, see who gets picked. I'll run it 3 times to get 3 winners, and then I'll show you what I'm sending out. Does that sound like a good deal? I just want to be able to say thank you. Thank you. It means so much that you guys tune in, that you leave me such great comments, that you've been sharing with other people, helping this channel grow. I see posts on Instagram about my channel, about things that you've received too. All those things make me very happy to see. So thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you for being a part of my life and encouraging me to continue making videos as I do. Some of them are just foolish things that I put together, and you guys seem to like those just as much as the ones that I take lots and lots of time trying to do the research and figure out. So thank you. It means a lot. And what's my next goal? I don't know what the next goal is going to be. Maybe, as Lewis said, it'll be 5,000. I think as I watch that ticker go up, everyone is exciting. I'm not sure where I want it to go from there. What I do want it to do, though, is that if it helps, you're going to see ads. If you probably are already seeing ads, but you might see more ads if this channel is monetized. There's been an application put through. I guess I've met all the criteria for YouTube now to be monetized, which means I would get ad revenue, and from that will help me pay for the hobby, help me pay for entry tickets into festivals, and all the things that I want to take you guys along with me when I go to do. So that's the next step in this channel, I guess, is to try to do more and put out more things for you guys to enjoy, and have more communications, more contests that I can give away things to as ad revenue helps pay for those. So that's what I'm going to do. The other thing I want to try doing, I've been doing some collaborations. So Smokey and I have done a stamp versus stamp video. We want to do more of that. We both talked about it, and we want to see those continue. So we're going to do that. And the Unicorn Gang, which is Jilly B, Renee, Lewis, myself, and there is Lewis who's in that group too. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, but we did put out a video with Renee, Jilly, and I. It was kind of some foolishness that I thought people enjoyed, and they seem to. I'm hoping we're going to do some more of those. We have to talk as a group, but that's in my head, that we'll do a little bit more of that collaboration as well. And then finally, now that I'm at 1,000 subscribers, I am able to do live videos. So I am going to try to do a few of those and try to find a time when maybe I have a lot of you guys are in Europe or in time zones that are a little bit further away than I'm in, or in the US, and you're maybe a few time zones behind. So try to find a time that all of you guys might be able to be on, and then I can talk back and forth live with you guys. So that's the plan. I think it'd be fun just kind of walking through the neighborhood or going for a walk somewhere where there is cell reception, but I can do a video and communicate back and forth. That's what I want to do. It's kind of the next evolution almost to That Dad Guy Answers on Saturday, where we wait a week to answer questions. I could do a live and we could do some back and forth interaction right away. So that's the plan. Thanks so much. This has probably been a longer video than I was hoping to get, and there's still lots more content in there to show you of all the different countries. So leave me a comment too if you want to see what's in those mixed bags of international stamps or the US stamps. We'll do that. The Canadian U's, you probably don't need to go back and see all those. Those will end up going off to different people. All right, have a magical week. Thank you. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Bye.